Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues, Fulham nil, Everton nil. Just before we get into this match reaction, if you can like, comment, subscribe, that will massively help the channel. I just want to say as well, I do apologise for not doing any videos for nearly 2 weeks. I just haven't had the energy or the will to do it. And that's not just based on Everton's recent performances and results and whatnot. It's just football's tiring me out mentally anyway. I just think, regardless of our situation, I just think the game is slowly becoming a lot more uninteresting to watch. Um, and yeah, I've been working as well and whatnot, which there's been other factors of why I haven't done any reactions or match previews. With this game, this was actually my first away game I've ever been to. I've always wanted to go. I've tried a few times in the past, and it just always seemed to be sold out, or there's no route into getting a ticket. But yeah, with this one, I did, and yeah, it was a very long journey there and back. For some reason, the coach went right through central London, which made no sense to me. Um, but yeah, eventually got there, got myself a homemade sausage roll from the stands they've got, the food stands. Very expensive, as I was already aware of anyway, with Fulham. I think they're the most expensive seats to get, or food, I'm not too sure, but it was £7 a pint. Didn't realise you could take in the stadium, stupid me. Had to down half of it, throw it away. I didn't want to miss any of the players coming out and whatnot. But the sausage roll was unbelievable. Even though it was £6.50, it was unbelievable. It was just phenomenal. I wish I could have took a picture of it or just appreciated it more, but I kind of just scoffed it down as I was hungry, and yeah, yeah, got to my seat. Really good seats. Was on TV apparently as well. A few people messaged me, and yeah, it was fantastic. I thought the ground was quite nice. The atmosphere is not the greatest. It's a midweek game, I get it. But Fulham fans didn't really start. I don't even think they sang till the 70th, 75th minute with the "Come on Fulham" chant. So if they did beforehand, I couldn't recall because I was in shock when I heard them finally sing at 75 minutes. I was like, oh, I haven't heard them all game. Obviously, us fans are doing the singing. As away fans, there's normally the best fans. Um, and yeah, met a few people, spoke to a few people, had a good time. Just wish there was a goal throughout the game. We had a number of chances. Didn't feel like that many though. It always feels like that when you see, Fulham had like 25 shots or something, and we had 20 shots or whatever it was. Um, didn't feel like that, weirdly enough. You don't really count the shots that are blocked and whatnot. Um, but we had a number of chances. So the first half, I'll say Godfrey was, to be honest, out of anyone, Godfrey was man of the match, which is kind of funny as he hasn't played in like 8 games for us and has transfer rumours that he's leaving the club. But he played really well. I think he played like he had something to prove. Um, but we know Godfrey, and I hope, if he did stay, he will get it out of his game when he's quite irrational. I kind of let him off when he was younger, but he's like 25, 26 now. I do expect him to kind of hold that position as his own, and he's got pace, which is massive. As someone who's a defender, but he needs to be better as concentration and whatnot. And I thought yesterday was, cleared the chance from Willian tapping it in, made a few decent blocks. Was a threat in the other end where towards the game he had a shot and hit Beto. Uh, yeah, we had a number of chances. Harrison had a couple in the first half, long range, straight at the goalkeeper. Really disappointing. He's a very good striker at the ball, Harrison, and sometimes I just feel like he just doesn't believe himself. I think Harrison's better when he actually thinks. where there's other players who I think that's a negative for them, hence like Calvert-Lewin and Beto and just a bit more instinctive players we've got. Um, we had McNeil first half was terrible to me. Throughout the game he wasn't really great at all, but I'll say the first half he was terrible, losing the ball consistently. And then I realised, oh my god, he's playing in centre mid basically. Um, the lineup was a bit mad, but different, so I wasn't fully against it. Um, and yeah, I thought basically first half Fulham had a number of chances. Jimenez smashing one wide, where he should have done better with. And shots from long range. I think they had a header over the bar as well. We hit the bar. Should have been a penalty in my opinion. I don't care if he was directing it to his own goal. If it hits your hand, it's your hand. That's what it's been in the Premier League, and I don't agree with it necessarily. But you've got to be consistent with your decisions, and the referees wasn't, consistent with their decisions on this matter, because we've had penalties against us where it's hit our arm, and they're gonna go, well, it's going to, Anthony Robson was putting it in his own net anyway. But you could say that when, let's say, I don't know, the incidents that haven't happened to us, I feel like some of them wasn't going directly to one of the players, it was going well wide or whatever, and they still gave it a penalty. So if you're basing it on, it doesn't matter where the ball is going and what the situation is. If it hits his hand, it's a penalty. Then we should have got a penalty. All for Anthony Robson could have known was it could have, hit the bar and hit his arm. But if he's purposely done it because he had a feeling someone could have been behind him, it should be a penalty. But like we said, regardless, it's clearly hit him in the hand. It's away from his body. I don't know what they're on about with this. It's up near the side of him, like his arms to the side of him. It's not. The arms are attached to the side of you, but they're not. Where his hand placement was, it wasn't. And we should have done better with that chance anyway. I think Tarkowski, even though he's not an attacker, I feel like he could have done better with that moment. But he didn't. And then, we said Danjuma had a couple of chances where he cut inside and blazed it. Well, not blazed it, but just curled it over the top of the bar. Should have done better in my opinion. I was on that angle, and I just thought, just place it in that corner. He's not getting it, Leno. He's not. He's a good goalkeeper. He's just not going to get it. It's harder to get down as a goalkeeper when you're tall as well. So I just, should have done that in my opinion. Not composed enough. And going to the break, reasonably happy, reasonably displeased. The likes with that handball, you have Branthwaite and Godfrey screaming at the referee. And like I said, he didn't get that decision, and that can change the game. Luckily, it didn't. The game was really the battle of midfield, which I thought Fulham won, just because of the lack of what we've got in the minute with the Onana, Hajisagana Gay, out, and Gomez out, which I never thought I'd be bringing up this season. And Willian was a constant threat. I think that was their biggest pose of threat. Jimenez went off at half time. Muniz, I think his name is, he came on. He had a header, I think, which just comfortably went to the goalkeeper. They had a chance at Decore Reed, Bobby Decore, how does he say his name? Decore Reed, just past the post. Tosin had a great header. Pickford, fantastic save over the bar. I didn't understand the corner situation, because we're kind of leaving ourselves outnumbered for players of Fulham's quality to cross the ball into the box. And they missed the likes of Harry Wilson today, but they still got quality players to they've got tall enough players as well, especially after the corner. Staying in the box, could have caused more of a threat to us. Luckily, it didn't. But I thought, our team played reasonably well, defensively played well. Apart from a few moments like, again, McNeil letting the ball letting the ball pass over his body. I don't even know how to phrase the word, but basically just let it run across his body. That's what it is. And Fulham player was in. I think it was Muniz maybe. Um, Pickford comes out, a strong hand to it. Little moments like that can just ruin your whole game plan. A lack of concentration. I know McNeil isn't a centre mid, but I just think a bit of more awareness at times is needed with most of the players. Thought Ashley Young had a strong game. Um, and I was kind of happy he was in the squad just because he was in the squad when we was winning. Not necessarily down to him, but um, you know, just felt a bit refreshed that he was back in the squad. Weirdly, and yeah, we had a couple of chances later on. Should have done better. It was hard to see from where I was, as they was attacking from the other end. And yeah, watching the replays has upset me. I knew the goal scramble was. Oh, also we had Fulham had a chance in the first half where we cleared it off the line, basically, kind of. But yeah, so back to the chances at the later stages of the game. Actually, the real late stages of the game is in added on time. Beto heads it over the bar. Now I didn't really see that fully. I didn't know how close he was. It's hard to tell. From watching the replays, it's just a terrible miss in my opinion. I just don't feel like Beto's a natural striker. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't seem to be on his toes already or anticipate moments. I don't know if that's down to confidence as well. You know, he seems to beat himself up a lot during the game. And he did in that moment. And a commentator said in the Tottenham game, I think it was Richarlison, he was talking about it. He said, you know, you can believe that the ball's going to come to you or you're going to be in the right spot when you're confident. When you're not, you're kind of anticipating too much or trying too much. But you should be heading it down. I just think the goal was gaping there. There's a few players there, but I think if Beto had a head on it, and you know we've seen how powerful his headers can be, he should have got down the back of the net. Calvert-Lewin had a chance, hit the bar with the header as well. Again, should have done better in my opinion. If that's his strength, then he should be doing better. Well, Beto's was worse, and then a goal kind of like goal line scramble in a sense, kind of. Or penalty box scramble with Godfrey and Beto getting involved. Tarkowski, of Tarkowski was heading on to Beto for the header miss from Beto, and the goal scramble, I think it was just Godfrey and Beto, yeah. Beto again, not on his toes, hits his knee. Could say it's kind of unlucky, but at the same time, I just feel like he could do better in that situation. And then Godfrey's trying to smash it in, hits Beto ironically. And then yeah, Beto has another go, I think, and the goalkeeper takes it. And just two massive opportunities at the end of the game. I think he should be taken. But overall, a decent point. Another 0-0, another clean sheet. You know, I was seeing rumours that we're swapping Danjuma for this right back, Irish right back at Lyon. I don't understand if that is an actual true story, because that's ridiculous. It's clear to for the eye to see that we need attackers, we need more midfield options. Again, it wouldn't make sense. Danjuma offers something different, even though he's really frustrated me. And you know, I think the substitutions again were quite late. I feel like Dice sometimes when we're still in the game is too scared to change something unless because it will give us potentially a negative impact on the game, and you know he kind of feels comfortable knowing that he doesn't see Fulham scoring or Everton, you know, not scoring but having opportunities. It kind of sticks it out for as long as he can. Sean Dyche, I've noticed. And I just think, again, it's too late. I think Danjuma was just not really in the game as much in the second half, and I think Dobbin could have come in earlier. You know, I feel like, especially with that game against, I think it was Luton, where we had a 4-4-2, to me, Schmidt, he should have started instead of one of Beto or Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And you know, you could say Better's having chances, he's not scoring, but I just don't think we've got the time to wait for someone to get their confidence up. You know, it's becoming a bit serious, the situation now. We're 18th in the league. Luton have got a game in hand. Even if Luton win, we're only 2 points behind Forest. Forest lost yesterday as well. And it's becoming a bit worrying now with our fixtures coming up, especially Tottenham and City next. Uh, I'm happy Tottenham won today because I've always said I want teams winning before they come and play us because, yeah, they could have, give some confidence or whatever, but I just think they're more desperate to win games sometimes, and we're not good with dealing with teams like that if they've lost a previous game or two. Um, so hopefully Tottenham will work to our favour. I can imagine Son will be back. The players are coming back, as I've seen today. They won 3-2 against Brentford. And yeah, a return for Richarlison as well, which will be emotional and hopefully doesn't score. The game 2-1 was close at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I just hope, like I said, Onana hopefully will be back. Adjusagana Gay will be back. Um, I feel like a couple of players need dropping, like McNeil. I think he needs a rest. He just looks knackered. Um, yeah, there's a lot of decisions I think this week Dyche needs to make, and needs to be strong and bold, and it needs to make sense as well, because the players playing at the moment who keep starting games are not delivering apart from the defensive players. So yeah, a lot of cause. Um, I'm worried that we're not going to sign anyone as well, which worries me even more. Should I be worried more at this stage than I was in the past 2 seasons? It doesn't feel like it, but it's starting to creep in that my nervous energy is coming through, and dreading every single game now because it just doesn't look pretty for us. A win will be massive just to get on them 20 points, which we should be on. Hopefully that situation can be resolved in some sort of way, which is good for us, because every point matters right now. And if we win against Tottenham, we should be on 31 points, which is where I'm kind of looking at going. There's about 15 whatever games left of the season. That's not a bad position to be in on 31 points. That's a team who should be in 11th or whatever, and will be just being a mid-table team for the season, which isn't something I'm going to complain about, but we're not. And then 10 points is massive. Luton have stepped up, unfortunately. Barely lost tonight. Sheffield United lost. Nottingham Forest lost. So a few positive results in and around us. But we're going to have to see how other teams do. But we can't be focused on that. We've got to, as well, make our own movements up the table. And I'm sick of this relying on other teams. We need to do our own job. I don't know what's happened to the team who won 4 games in a row with clean sheets. We just look like a team so organised, and again, hard to beat, but scoring in precise moments. Not necessarily scoring a lot of goals, but just scoring at the right moments and taking the chances. And like I said, we missed Decore again tonight. He's a massive part in what we do, which is kind of sad in saying that, because I don't think Decore necessarily is a good player, a very good player. I just think we're utilising him for someone who can take his chances. We've missed him as well. So the fact we have missed a lot of players in the midfield, and we've drew Fulham 0-0, Fulham are decent at home, I'm not going to complain too much. I just think, obviously, it's made me feel a bit down because of what Luton did. But, you've got to keep our heads up. It's not over till it is over. And, like I said, players are coming back. Hopefully no one gets injured. And we crack on through here. And I said we've got no other distractions now, which is probably a good thing in the long term. Looking at it for, what I mean, like more FA Cup games or League Cup games or whatever, will it be a good thing to motivate us and excite the fans? But at the same time, the players look already knackered, which it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why they are. We don't play in Europe, we don't do this, we don't do that. So the Premier League players, they should be fit enough. But yeah, got a number of days off now to the weekend, Tottenham, and hopefully we can do something, because I don't think Tottenham are in a title race at all. I think they're going to be in the top 4 race. So a loss for them wouldn't be the end of the world, but it's an opportunity for us to pick up a vital 3 points, which we haven't done in a while. So like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all soon, and yeah, I'm out.